Prince of Persia 2 Thrones has to be the best and the worst Prince of Persia game that I have ever played, but I walked away from this experience having had the most fun in a video game that I haven't had in a long time. I love this game for everything that it is, but I hate the game for what it's not. One thing I just want to get off my chest is this game is not better than Prince of Persia Warrior Within. Prince of Persia Warrior Within is something special. That game was a real God of War contender. But I will detail the things I don't like about Prince of Persia 2 Thrones. I am sure that for some people, Prince of Persia 2 Thrones is their favorite game. And this is why I will say that all the negative things I have to say are genuinely bad things about the game. Anything bad that was in the game were things that were unexpected, and that really caught me off guard. Despite all the game's flaws and bugs, I still have a deep love for this game, and I would go back and play it again even though I know what to expect now. First of all, the game is really buggy. Right out of the gate, I was experiencing many bugs and glitches, and thought that the game being buggy and glitchy was due to them maybe using a new engine for the game, but after doing a bit of research, I discovered that they used the same engine for the whole trilogy, so that wasn't a cause for the issue. For example, the game has this lighting issue of where the screen will fill up with light to the point of where I can't see anything, and then if I move to a certain area it goes back to normal. The game did this from start to finish, and I didn't look up a solution because it would only happen sometimes. And the other problem is the movement in this game. The mouse controls are really sluggish and clunky. I thought changing the mouse sensitivity would help, but it did very little to fix the issue. And hey, look people, I know the game is old, but I didn't experience as many bugs with this game as I did with Warrior Within, and Warrior Within is the previous game. An unpopular opinion, or you could call it a hot take, is that 2 Thrones feels like a downgrade when compared to the previous games. Just based off a few things, like gameplay, storyline and character models, the game unfortunately lacked in these aspects, and to a certain extent it kind of ruined the experience for me, because I expected 2 Thrones to be better, seeing as it's the third game. One would think that the game would have figured things out, but it still seems like they were experimenting and figuring out their mistakes from their old games, because I didn't see much of an improvement from Warrior Within. Even with the movement in the game, there are many times where the game glitches out, and I would either die or miss the places I was supposed to land. For the most part the game functions okay, but sometimes it becomes completely wonky. There were many times where I got frustrated and wanted to just close the game and not play anymore. But I pushed through it because for most of the game, I had fun. The story in the game is rather bland. Think of a hamburger with really big buns and a very small beef patty. Your first bite is nothing but the bun, and when you get to the beef patty, you have already played so much of the game. The game has more gameplay than story. You spend a lot of the game not really having the best narrative, and it's supposed to be a sequel to Warrior Within, but it feels very loosely connected. The game's story is not better than Warrior Within, and it's not that much better than Sands of Time, because the goodness with Warrior Within is that the game does a good job of giving you some form of a story. The only thing that 2 Thrones had was a bunch of random cutscenes that did very little to formulate a story, and for that it took away the experience that I was hoping to have. Prince of Persia 2 Thrones did a pretty good job with the update on graphics and visuals. The only place where the game falls short is when you look at the character models. They really improved on the map and level design. When I first played the game, I quickly noticed the more detailed maps and levels. Looks like a very late PS2 game, and I could even see an early Assassin's Creed style level design in the game. The one detail about this game is the fact that it doesn't hold your hand. The maps are designed in a way that it doesn't really look like there is a set path to go. It makes the game feel more realistic, but with all the graphical upgrades, the one place where the game falls short is with the character models. For some reason, the characters in the game look pretty bad, and it's not a matter of them being ugly, but more so a thing of them not looking well designed. If you look at Sands of Time, you see that they went for a more stylized, almost cartoon look, but with Warrior Within and 2 Thrones they tried to do a more gritty and realistic look. While it looked decent in Warrior Within, it looked so out of place in 2 Thrones. Instead of picking a simple design, they tried too hard to put too many details on the characters to the point of where it made them look very unpleasant, because they also brought a character back from Sands of Time, and in 2 Thrones she looks horrible compared to Sands of Time. The maps and levels look good, the enemies look really good, the graphics looks good, but the characters look bad. I was very forgiving with this game because there were many times where I lost my temper. I tried my best to look past it, but it often got too much, and I have no idea how anyone could have looked at this game and called it a finished product. With just a few tweaks, the game could have easily been perfect. I do feel that most of the problems are just on the PC port. PC ports of old video games often have big problems with bugs and glitches. The game lacks polish and quality. This is why it would be nice if they remake the franchise so that it will be more playable. The Prince of Persia trilogy has been the best that the franchise has ever been. After the trilogy, the franchise struggled to keep momentum. They tried to reboot the franchise with Prince of Persia, which we can just call Prince of Persia 2008, which I played, but unfortunately the game made zero sense. And because the game was so different, the franchise later went back to the whole Sands of Time arc, with Prince of Persia the Forgotten Sands, and it has never really left that arc. I would say that Prince of Persia did rely way too much on the Sands of Time, and though maybe some people wanted the games to change, this would be the time that instead we got Assassin's Creed. But after everything, I would say that the Prince of Persia is still a good franchise that we at least still have the ability to enjoy. And with that, this is the Chilly Man signing off. I thank everyone for watching. Peace out.